Mic checkity, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Word back at it again on the What's the Word channel, about to jump into another hookah. Yeah, we on that type of time, my nigga. Niggas know what the f it is. All right, now what's really going on with all that bullshit? Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Word back at the end, but it's another hookah gang. Yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Word on What's the Word channel. Yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Word on What's the Word channel. Yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Word back on the What's the Word channel. Yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Word back on the What's the Word channel. Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Word back on the What's the Word channel. Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Word back on the What's the Word channel. Back again, I'm super jump to hoop. Bang. Yo, what's poppin'? It's your Word back again, but it's bang. Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Word back again on What's the Word channel. Back again, bang. Know what time it is, man? It's your boy Word back again, but to a new reaction today. Feels good to be back in the building. I'll tell you that though, man. We are in the building. It feels good to be back, man. This will make the 500 video on the channel. Round of applause for that. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming for the 500 video, but it's also been a long time coming since the last video. Let me start off with apologies. Apologies for that, for anybody that may feel offended or feel like I left them in the wilderness. That was not the plan. I had many of plans that I was trying to decide what to do for the 500 video. Some of the stuff was in action and happening.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I can tell y'all, cause you know, I'm just transparent. I feel like the shit is gonna be what it is whenever it comes. I love surprises, but I think a lot of times because you're trying to keep something a surprise, it could sometimes delay you actually doing it because you're trying to keep things under wraps so much. Let me just stop that. Like niggas all anytime a nigga in front of the camera with a mic, niggas think they gotta get in this podcast style of talking. Nigga, just talk to the mic, bro. Anyways, man, I was planning on doing a hip hop documentary because last year there was a contemporary hip hop exhibit at the St. Louis Art Museum in Forest Park here in the city I'm born and raised in. St. Louis, Missouri, if you don't know where I'm from, that's where I'm from. It's in the middle of the United States. They call it the Midwest. Some people call it Hustle City. Some people call me the Show Me State. But anyways, yes, that's where I'm from, man. 314 is the area code. But I was gonna do a hip hop documentary / interview with just locals, randoms, of just getting what hip hop meant to them. Some of the biggest moments and things that they've experienced since hip hop's been alive. Last year was, I believe, the 50th anniversary of hip hop, I want to say. That was the reason I was doing that, because I also had, like I said, it was an exhibit here in St. Louis, and it was quite stunning. I'll put it up. I'll just put that video while I'm talking right now about it. It was in St. Louis, Missouri. They had a bunch of just stuff historically that was going on in hip hop, all the way up to the current times of hip hop. And it was quite dope, man. It was quite dope. A lot of visually pleasing things going on in there. A lot of things that you've seen if you was a part of hip hop for the berry of your life that you could remember, that to bring back memories when it was going on. And so, yeah, the plan was to put that together. It was not going as smoothly as I want it to be. That may still be in the tuck or in the chamber that'll come out later sometime. But yeah, that was one of the ideas. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It's honestly, bro, I'll be recording so much shit. I honestly don't even remember all the stuff I record that's either going out or haven't gone out until I actually go and look and see what's actually been put out. Because I can't recall. The last thing I remember actually putting out that was a reaction was Utopia album review. I do have a podcast. Actually, I have two. One that is more frequently released. That is the Word of Clarity podcast. You can go to that channel on YouTube right now and subscribe to that if you already have it. You can also find us on any audio outlets as far as Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Pandora, wherever you got audio at. That is a music and sports podcast, specifically more so NBA. We touch on NFL when it comes to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, in hip hop more so, in urban music, all inclusive. So, you know, that's R&B, soul, however you want to see it. And we touch on some of the just, you know, pop culture topics as far as like maybe movies that's going on at the time, things like the Diddy case that's going on right now, or the allegations is all a part of him. So if you haven't checked it out, man, make sure you go check it out. But I just wanted to kind of jump on here while I'm in the middle of moving from this apartment that I've been at for a year. It's been quite pleasant. I haven't really had, you know, too many complaints or anything. It served me well. Yeah, I wanted to make this video during this time because I thought that'll be a dope opportunity to be able to capture some stuff. I'll also update y'all on what's going on in my life, what's been going on since the last video, why haven't I dropped anything on this channel per se, because I've still been dropping on an array of different avenues of my channels, platforms, all things, man. So we'll kind of get into some of that. Yeah, man, I'll probably show while I'm talking what I've been moving here, where I'm moving from. This video is probably gonna continue until I move into the new crib. So yeah, man, the new spot, it is definitely an upgrade. I am stoked to be in a new spot. I don't know how to actually talk right now because I don't know if I'll be showing that video while I'm talking or I'll do another video. So I'm just, you guys take it how you see it. Anyways, man, yeah, I'm stoked for the new spot, man. It is still in St. Louis. This will make the last St. Louis lease I signed, the last place I stay in St. Louis before I be moving to LA. I'm not gonna say how long that lease is or how long I'll be here in St. Louis, because the Lord has shown me, man, he can move at God's speed. And that can be anything. That can be in favor of you, or sometimes it may be challenging for you to be patient. But yeah, man, but the plan is to be in LA next year, and I'll be moving there. So that's why I say this is the last lease I'll be signing in St. Louis. But I'm looking forward to this new place, man. The amenities here is nuts. I have no complaints. It is very luxury style, modern living. Not to brag, but it's definitely something I wanted to kind of be my last place that I stay here in St. Louis, and something I can invest in that'll also benefit my business, because I do a lot of recording from home. They have private suites and units that you can actually rent to use for like a small business. Things that I do is for video production, photography, just a media studio for the most part. So I'm looking forward to that, man. The move is happening right now. We are pretty much I'll say about 60% moved out of this place as far as preparation wise, packing things, throwing things out. It's not a big space. This space is preferably small. I always made a joke, like when you walk into my house, you're practically in every room. You know what I mean? You can see every room except the bathroom. So it's preferably cool though, man. Shout out to IKEA. IKEA pretty much has serviced and been a part of my moves for quite some years. Even going back to my first place, I always shopped at IKEA. If you don't know, I actually used to work at IKEA, and I got a chance to really see, what their best products were. If you don't know about the as-is section, you gotta make that a must. I don't start, anybody know IKEA, when you walk into the store, it's kind of like you walk into it where you gotta see the entire store before you get to where you pick up the furniture and the pieces that you actually like while walking through it. I'm the opposite. I go through the back way. Why? I don't know if this is at every IKEA, because I only been to one IKEA, and that's been in St. Louis. But the as-is section is at the very end. As-is section, if you don't know, is basically the discounted or clearance section. Now, their clearance section and discounted section is quite a great deal, because they have a lot of stuff that's pretty much in practically great condition. It's just that it's either discontinued or it's the display and it's the last one they're putting out. And so you're still getting a great value for your buck, and the product is probably gonna be still new and substantially cheaper. I've gotten several things there. I believe I got this chair. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I got my desk chair over here from there that was in the as-is section marked down. I got the chair I'm sitting in actually was a deal in the as-is section. I got two of these. They were two for the price of one, basically. I think these chairs are like $100, so we got like two for $100. This shelving unit I got over here, this red shelving thing, that was marked down. I don't remember the prices, but practically everything that I be copping, it don't all come from the as-is section, but a great percentage of the furniture that I have comes from the as-is section. Rugs, anything you can think of, dishes, office materials that you may need, extension cords, candles, shelves, pictures, mirrors, anything, tables, everything is over in the as-is section. Like I said, anything can be practically over the couches. Actually, you know what? My bed frame actually came from the as-is section. And the one thing I like about the as-is section, if you know anything about IKEA, most of the things you buy at IKEA, it's a DIY. You have to put it together yourself, do it yourself, which I don't have a problem. But if I could save time by having something already assembled and I can just throw it in the back of my trunk to take it home and just practically slide it into where the position is supposed to be at your crib. If I don't have to put something together, I'm definitely just trying to just get it as it's already assembled and put it in the crib. That's the other benefit of that. Like everything over there, for the most part, is already going to be assembled. You won't have to break it out of the box, put it together, and do all that. Because anybody that knows anything about putting furniture together, sometimes it's easy, but a lot of times it can be quite time consuming, and you got to make sure you got all the tools too. But yeah, man, shout out to IKEA. It was a great company to work for too. Discount was pretty solid. Yes, that's what's going on as far as the crib, man. That's, I guess, somewhat of a life update. And it's pretty big. It's pretty big. It does feel kind of, life updates kind of feel, I don't know, where I'm at in life, everything kind of sometimes gets looked at from multiple different perspectives. And I always feel like some people can see me in a space where I'm talking like from a privileged space, but I'm really talking from a space that's always spirited by like motivational, inspiring others. I just want to say that, like, anything I'm saying is coming from that space, because I know what it is and what it feels like to be in a space where you don't have the things that you want. You're wishing on things, or you're trying to get to things, and you may be actually doing the things that you would need to do in order to get to those places, but it's not resulting into the results that you want. Yeah, man, sometimes it's tough to be in that space and just to continue to be disciplined enough to say, you know what, despite what the outcome is, I'm going to continue to have faith, continue to do the things that I know that gives me life and has me wake up every day despite the results. But hard work does pay off. It just doesn't always pay off in the time you want it to pay off. So keep that in mind, man. Yeah, man, new crib. Before I actually, and honestly, dog, one thing to say about this, I wasn't even actually planning to move into a new space. I really wasn't. I had no, and that's the crazy thing is, I can say that about multiple things. Like I can say that about my job upgrade, which I'll kind of spit on that a little bit. I can say that about this crib upgrade, or me actually wanting to move. And then also, I recently bought a Jeep. I got a 2016 Jeep Wrangler, black. Crazy thing is, I've always said I wanted a Wrangler. And then it was a point where I was just like, if it happens, it happens. I really wasn't big on it. But like I said, man, those three areas and I guess things that was upgrades in my life all happened, not necessarily planned. Speaking about my job, so I was working, where I work now, I work at a sports financial firm. The company is called Signify Wealth. Before that, I was working at a nonprofit called Mission St. Louis. Loved it. Didn't have any plans to actually leave Mission St. Louis at all. I loved the people there. I had strong ties there, which I still have those strong ties now. I mean, family type of ties, and actual family ties. And then, yeah, like overall, it was a great job. Like I love the mission of what it was about, what they stood for, what they still stand for, what they still do now. It's great work. It's a nonprofit that basically service under-resourced communities, meaning jobs, the skills, education, anything you can think of, livelihood, their place of home, anything you can think of, they're supplying all resources that is just basically the foundation of anybody having a quality life. So yeah, man, great company. I did creative coordination and design and directing for that company as well. And what I do now is the same thing for this company. It's just a different clientele, of course, a different mission, a different purpose. And as far as the company existence is for something different. But I love the story of that. You know what I mean? I love my story in that, meaning that I came from working in that place, and where I am now abruptly just came upon me to take that opportunity. And I've been at this place since last year fall, so it's been about 8 months, maybe going on 9 or so. And it's been dope, bro. It's been dope. I got no complaints. I love the people I work. I actually got family ties at this place as well. Like family ties, I should say. But pretty much family. Yeah, man, it is a wealth advising company, wealth management company that advises a lot of athletes, young athletes at that, some veterans, and some are in the NBA, most are in the NFL, and some are celebrities and just talents in whatever professional life that they may have their career in. So yeah, it's been dope, man. And the great thing is, bro, both of those jobs, I pretty much landed from doing the things that I love for myself, and people just noticing it, whether word of mouth or what I put on my social media platforms, because I constantly put up lifestyle content. I constantly put up things that are just reflective of what's going on in my life in that season. And so, yeah, man, it was pretty dope to get opportunities from doing things that you love. And now that you can get paid full time from that, is even better. So yeah, man, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that for sure. It is something I want to continue to build on. I feel like it's a stepping stone into where I'm headed for sure. And as far as the space of just, I just see it all under the umbrella of creativity. It's a collection of media, which is music, audio, video, film, art, everything all inclusive. And so I'm just happy to be in a place where that basically is all monetized work that I'm being able to actually put out now on the internet, and also just in real life with my real day-to-day job. So it's dope. I don't really have no complaints at all when I'm working. It's what I love. So that's been dope, man. I encourage anybody out there, man, to constantly stay with it. And yeah, man, as far as a gear upgrade, what I'm actually, or update, I should say, this is my day-to-day shooting, small rig, cage, whatever you want to call it. One thing about me, I'm familiar with the terms that videographers or creators that's using cameras use. I kind of just make up them own terms for myself because I know what it is and what it means to me, but I don't know if it's always universally sound. Anyways, yeah, man, this is an A7 IV with an 85 lens, 1.8 Sony lens. I believe all of these, the cage is basically all newer products. The monitor is newer. It's touchscreen. I've only had this for maybe about 45 days, and I pretty much leave it up there all the time unless I really don't need it. I just like seeing things on a bigger monitor anyway, opposed to just using the flip out, which is not bad. What I'm shooting on right now is actually an A7 III. This A7 IV, I love that they met this flip out, and you can kind of turn it however you want to, because on the A7 III, it only just pops back instead of flipping out and being able to flip whichever way you may need to see it. So yeah, that's the A7 III that I'm shooting on right now with a 50, and it's just sitting on a tripod basically. But yeah, man, this is pretty much what I'm using for a lot of the content I'm shooting for other people. I would love if I can shoot myself like this, but not really. Every time I'm shooting myself, I'm pretty much using a tripod. I'm using this type of cage or small rig when I'm shooting a lot of just B-roll. Sometimes I'm doing interviews and I'm holding it just so it can be a more natural feel opposed to just being on a stationary tripod. I'm using it for a lot of different things. I like it because it's really easy to just move around with. I like the two-handle grip. This is a mic. I'm not really sure where I got this. I've had it for a while. It says Power DYs. Not really familiar with that brand. But yeah, the cage, the handle on the top and the left is all newer. The monitor is newer. The cage is newer. So yeah, man, pretty simple, easy, mobile, pop out, on the go shooting style. I love on the go. I leave this pretty much like this. I can put it in the back of my trunk of the Jeep, or I can just put it in my back seat and just sit it on the floor, face down like this. And as long as I'm not driving crazy, which I'm not always driving crazy. Sometimes I am. But anyways, yeah, man, I can just pick this up and go. It can sit like this if it needs to, and I can just pick this up and go. And so the main thing for me is I'm just trying to be quick with being ready whenever I get to the place that I'm shooting at. I don't want to have to, if I need to change the lens, I can easily just take this off, just as simple as that, and easily put it right back on. See, when you filming, it want to act crazy. But yeah, anyways, man, it's really easy. And so that's always what I'm trying to go for. Whatever's going to be, not always, because of course the quality matters, but you don't ever want to have people waiting. I don't like to be taking long doing anything anyway, so this is very easy. It's not heavy. You know what I mean? Like, I can take this mic off when I'm not really trying to capture audio and it's just mainly about B-roll and footage. I can take this off. I put a light up here if it's like a low lighting situation. And so, yeah, man, I enjoy that one, man. That is my main thing I shoot with. I got another 85 lens that I use. This mic that I'm shooting on is just by Cinco. It's just a wireless mic. It's similar to a Rode wireless mic. Nothing crazy. I think this was like $80. Pretty affordable. It may have been $50 actually, now that I think about it. You know what? Maybe it was $139. Yeah, maybe it was $139. I bought so much stuff on not IKEA, Amazon, that I can't even remember. So I may have messed it up, man. Anyways, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put all this. You know what? I'll just drop my Amazon link in the description, because I got my gear list, mostly everything on there that I use is pretty much on there. So I'll do that, man. But yeah, that's pretty much a gear update, kind of like what I'm shooting with nowadays. I think I gave you guys an update on the crib, what I'm doing there. I gave you guys an update on, new Jeep 2016. I'm loving that. The Jeep is dope. I want to make some mods to it. Really haven't gotten into it, doing it yet, but I definitely want to lift that maybe a tad, and black out some of the windows in the front, but I'm kind of skeptical about that. People in St. Louis love to break in cars. But yeah, man, that is that. That is that. As far as what am I reading, maybe I'll start doing that. What am I reading lately? This is The Enemies of the Heart by Andy Stanley. Breaking free from the 4 emotions that control you. I've been going through this book with a group of guys I've been meeting with for about a year plus. Small group of men, some guys from my church, some guys that are non-members, but it's basically a life group on just, it's all men. So manhood things, spiritual things. Your boy is a Christian, so that is the faith where the Bible is what we're reading out of, which is referenced a lot of times in the books that we may be going through. But yeah, this book is pretty challenging. Not as a challenging read, but it's a challenge to just your life, just you improving on yourself as an individual and basically practicing self-control against these 4 emotions that it claims is the 4 emotions that control you. And so you want to break free from those. And I believe it's jealousy, greed, anger, and grief. So yeah, man, it's been a dope read. Shout out to my boy Stefan, which is also the cat I work with. I don't know if I want to call him cat, but yeah, my brother that I work with. Dope dude all around. And so I've been fortunate to be able to sit up under him and sit with him with a group of guys to learn, gather wisdom, and Lord willing, man, be better than I was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So that is that. I'm not really sure exactly where the channel is going to be at as far as the direction. I can at least say, I'll be doing reactions here and there. But yeah, man, if you follow the channel, you can probably notice that I stopped doing just reactions to any and every song. Pretty much did only album reactions. That'll probably still be the rhythm and kind of the content that I mainly react to. I will say, Doc, it's been a show. I'm pretty sure some of you guys know it. Is it called Find Love or Pop the Balloon? By specifically the one by Arlette. Arlette, I'm not sure her last name, but anyways, you guys know which ones I'm talking about. It is based in Phoenix, Arizona. I've been watching that. I may do some reactions to that. Right now, they just finished season 1 up. They just had their reunion. It's dope. I just love that type of stuff because I think it's a space where you really get the chance to see how the opposite gender thinks, what it looks like in real time to kind of be in that space of dating for singles. And I mean, it's entertaining too. Like you got moments on there where you get to see some people like really have insecure problems, really feel a way about just when somebody popped the balloon or somebody just doesn't feel them. Because all they're saying basically is your first impression. I'm not fond of it. I'm not really rocking with it. But you see people kind of act out of character or just get crazy. So, but yeah, reactions for the most part will still be a part of the channel. I spoke about the stuff that I'm doing now a lot as far as content that's more lifestyle driven. And I just launched a platform or page for mainly all the video content and photography that I do for small companies or local individuals or anybody that I may be working with as far as a brand. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a channel. I'm not sure if I'll bring that to WatzTheWord channel like I did with my other podcast, Damage Control. So just to say, the definite direction of the channel was just under construction and it's uncertain, but just know content will be coming. Like this right here, this will be coming for the 500 video and maybe more of the lifestyle vlog stuff will be coming. I've always had a passion for that and wanted to actually make that a lot of what I produce. It's just, it takes a lot. Of course, you got to be doing, I feel like there's a certain expectation for vlogs. I know for me, when I'm looking at other people's vlogs, if it's not much going on, like whether if they're not including you on their personal life, their career life, or somebody that goes out and does a certain niche content that they actually is passionate about, I don't really be buying into it. So that was part of it. Like, I feel like vlogs does have to come with a bit of a certain quality of life. Not saying it's a certain quality of content. Let's just say they're not quality of life. The content just has to be quality in a way that is interesting enough to people want to continue to watch it and come back for every vlog series that you're putting out. Whether that's music, behind the scenes, whether that's fashion, whether that's makeup, whether that's whatever it may be, your crib, like something's always going to bring you back. That's kind of the core of that. Yeah, man. I don't know. I know we'll be experimenting with that. I'll definitely say that for sure. So yeah, not sure about the exact direction of the channel, but expect reactions to be coming, mainly album reactions. I know many of you probably are wondering, where do I lie with the Drake versus Kendrick? If you haven't checked out the episode, I'll link that. I'll probably drop a card or something in here where you can go see that podcast episode on the Word of Clarity podcast channel. Make sure you check that out. It's my highest podcast episode I've ever dropped as far as views. It's the longest I've ever put out a episode over 3 hours. So it's quite entertaining, man. And I brought my homeboy in, Kyle Torrey, which he has a podcast, a Man Space podcast. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out. He also has on YouTube. But yeah, we brought him on. And me and my boy Kenny, we went at it, and it was quite entertaining, quite insightful, and quite debative, as it always is on that podcast. So check it out, man. Free Tory until Tory is free. You already know what time it is when it comes to that. I have been missing my boy as far as musically, just him being outside. I hope all is well was going with my boy Tory, man. Not really sure what the sentence or his freedom lies, when that will be expected to happen. So, man, but we still screaming free Tory until Tory is free. It's been some stuff that I've been able to play by him that's been out for years. It just never gets old. So I'm still looking for that, man. I'm still looking for maybe the next installment of one of his projects. The Alone at Prime Deluxe was incredible. That continued only to crystallize and become one of the greatest projects of the last 10, 20 years. And yeah, man, recent albums that I've been jamming, not No Chill. What is the album called? Party Next Door 4. That has been in mad heavy rotation. That probably is the most streamed spun album of the year for me. I think it's a press play. He really got back to that OVO Party Next Door series style of music that we love him for. Some of my favorites off that album is No Chill. Love it. I love Control, the intro. I love Sorry, But I'm Outside. I love Real Woman. I love Old Friends. It's a lot on there that's amazing that I think he's just bodying. It's really one of them hopping the Jeep late ride. You know what I'm saying? Like he always gonna give me that type of vibe. The other album that I've been rocking with a lot is Bryson Tiller. As you can see, there's a consistent theme here, mainly these melodic / rappers or the guys that I lean heavily into. Them are my guys for sure. But yeah, Bryson Tiller's self-entitled album has been probably the second most spun album for me as well this year, man. I think he did a magnificent job on basically just owning who he is. You know what I mean? Like owning this sound and not being the shell of himself he was on some of his previous projects, mainly speaking about True to Self, which is the album you would think, being the title was True to Self, he would have been true to self. But I believe he's really true to himself just as far as like what he wants to do at this particular moment on this album, Bryson Tiller. Try's probably my favorite song on there. I love Persuasion. I love Attention. I love Outside. I love Calypso. I love the Peace Interlude. It's a whole lot on there too. That one is pretty collectively a great album, holistically. I don't have to skip many. He actually got a lot of different flavors of genres and stuff on there that I really enjoyed. So if you haven't gotten into that album, really check it out. I think he did a great job on just his song making ability, which he's always been a great artist in that space. But I think he really showed his range on his album. It's not just that. Like, I love Trap Soul because it really is cohesive. It really is a press play and you don't ever have to touch the skip button. But this album really showed Bryson can do more than just that one sound. I had a funny exchange interesting exchange with Bryson on Twitter where he was doing like, Q&As and whatnot on his Twitter. And I was telling him, I was saying something along the lines about just Trap Soul and just how that sound was premium. And I really wasn't saying make a Trap Soul too, but just capitalizing on that sound, expanding it and just really staying in that lane. Like, I don't think it's ever a problem for an artist to like ride a certain sound for multiple or consecutive albums. Like, I believe a lot of people quickly try to go away from it, but it's a winning formula. You know what I mean? I was just saying, like, if it's not broke, why try to fix it type of thing? Because I think anybody that would tell you about Trap Soul, nobody would have been mad if he would have came back with another album that was pretty much up that same alley. I think Bryson admitted, like, he pretty much was being tricked out of his spot and having imposter syndrome. That's what he kept using a lot of times on these recent interviews, like on Breakfast Club, as far as he just wasn't really comfortable with being himself and feeling like he was having to live up to other people's expectations. But I'm glad he found who he is and got back to doing what he actually wants and being comfortable in his skin and just doing the music that he really wants to do authentically. So shouts out to Bryson on that, man. Those are probably the two albums that I've been spinning heavily. I gotta shout out Sexy Red, not because she's my favorite artist or anything, but she's definitely from St. Louis. Anybody that's winning from St. Louis, I typically am going to show a lot of love for. I don't really do it publicly because Sexy Red, I'm not the core audience or the audience in mind that she's making music for when she's making music. But it's hard to deny the level of momentum and magnitude that she has on the game right now. And man, I mean, yes, she's been a huge beneficiary of the Drake stamp or the Drake cosign, but she's only capitalized on that. And the reason I'm saying that is because we've seen many people have that same cosign, have that same stamp, and it doesn't turn into what's it's turned out for her. And that's basically being the number 2 hottest MC as far as females out right now behind Nicki Minaj. And honestly, you probably can make an argument that she's probably the hottest. So shouts out to her, man. She's doing her thing. That's about it, man. That's about it. I will say, I've already said this on plenty of things. There will be a time where I go on a deep dive with the Drake state of this time in current time for him. I kind of already hinted at that on my TikTok video, on my podcast, but I still believe he'll be in good shape. He'll be in good shape. Take your time, get back to the factory of making great music and hits. And you know, I'm not even saying he needs to be immediate future, but I believe he still possesses that superpower, and he'll rightly deliver when the time is appropriate. These 2 recent records he put out, I was going to react to those. They would just don't make sense. Don't make sense. But all in all, man, I'm happy to be back on the channel. It was dope talking. Every time I do this, I come into it just not really knowing exactly what I'm about to do, or if I'm able to do it. I'm confident, but it's like you haven't done this style of video in I don't know how long. I think it was cool, man. I think it was dope speaking to y'all, man. Get in the comments. Ask me questions. Let me know if y'all like this type of content. If this is what you guys want to see more. I enjoy doing it. I don't know how often I can do it or will be willing to do it, but I definitely think life update videos and just when, like a time when somebody is moving is always dope. I know I enjoy that when it comes to other people that's doing this on YouTube. So all in all, man, everybody that's out there, try to capture the best version of yourself every day and prove to be better than you were the day before. And shouts out to all the What's the Word supporters. Shouts out to all the What's the Word subscribers. Keep like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, man. Yeah.